Hey folks, okay, time to talk about Oh Mercy. There you go. Have mercy on me. I know, that's the Rolling Stones. Yeah, wrong band, wrong person. Alrighty, man, I'm so ready to do this album. I've been actually anticipating to really do Oh Mercy for quite some time. You know, I remember doing Down the Groove, that was kind of a little bit while ago when I did that. I'm going to be talking about one of Bob Dylan's, most fans can agree this is like maybe his best album of the 80s. Well, it came out in September of 1989. Let's see. What day? Trying to see when it actually, September 12th of 1989 when this came out. And it did fairly well for Bob Dylan. Actually went to number 30 in that year, and then Norway and UK, it was at number 7. So this was sort of his, I wouldn't really say comeback. You know, he did have some albums that were pretty bad, that didn't, obviously charted really, really bad, but, number 30 is not, I wouldn't say that's pretty high, but, so he collaborated with Daniel Lanois, who produced, of course, the biggest album for U2, which was the Joshua Tree, just 2 years prior. And Bono introduced he produced, he helped him, get to know Daniel Lanois, and Daniel was like, hey, you should come down here to New Orleans and, I can go ahead and cut this album for you here. I can help you produce the album. I can make it sound richer and, full of all that, atmospheric. I feel like the album really has a lot of that atmospheric, I feel like you're outside or kind of out in the bayou. That's what this album really reminds me of. It really reminds you like you're out in the, out in the lake or whatever, kind of in the swamps of Louisiana. And definitely has that Louisiana sound, Of course, Bob Dylan was, he was chugging away on his never-ending tour. So yeah, kind of enough of me with the whole things of behind the album. I think the album cover was painted by Bob Dylan. It looks like something that Dylan probably had painted, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so many people have praised this album to be maybe one of his best albums of the 80s, and, and I kind of agree. I like the sound of it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, I feel like John Mayer was I feel like he was pretty inspired by this album. I mean, most, artists like him and, people like Jack Johnson or whatever were heavily influenced by Dylan, and they have covered, Dylan songs over the years, Buckets of Rain. I love that live performance of Mayer doing Buckets of Rain. But I'm getting a little bit off topic here. So we start off with the song Political World. I really love the intro, the fade-in intro. And you get that really cool, whatever it is, I guess the acoustic here. Yeah, Daniel Lanois. And we also got Mason Ruffner, whoever that is, on dobro. I believe that is a dobro, I believe. Tony Hall, also on guitar. Cyril Neville. Willie Green on drums. Now, Willie Green was also on Down in the Groove as well. But yeah, this really has really, once again, just that really, it feels like with this song, I feel like you're out like in the West and you see like the tumbleweeds kind of, it just really has that really gritty, and I really love Dylan's, cadence as well. He almost has a sly presentation here in his vocals. Yeah, this first verse is excellent. Called We Live in a Political World. Love don't have any place. We're living in times where men commit crimes. And crimes don't have a face. Oh man, we live in a political world where mercy walks the plank. So see, Dylan's like really just, he almost has like this anger. He has like this anger and this sort of he just kind of he visually sees what's going on. And I feel like Oh Mercy just has that, just the whole, behind the whole out, just the whole album's like religious, a lot of religious symbolism and a lot of, and yeah, Dylan had not lost his faith. He was still kind of, even within this later period here of Dylan, he still clutches to the faith and to Christ, of course. Yeah, just really just has that excellent, Oh Mercy, just has that excellent just presentation of, with relationships and the fragility, that sort of thing. We live in a political world where courage is a thing of the past. Houses are haunted, children are unwanted. The next day you could be your last. My God, man, what a line. In this last verse here, we live in a political world. Everything is hers or his. Everything is, climb into the frame and shout God's name, but you're never sure what it is. I think I've heard a lot of people say this was kind of a continuation of With God on Our Side a little bit. It says that Dylan rails against the world of materialism, which has become the dominant ideology, where wisdom is thrown into jail. That line there, and where courage is a thing of the past, which I already had, read. It calls for a return to spirituality in this regard, political world, yeah. And so they say it's kind of a little bit of a continuation of With God on Our Side. But what an excellent just song about, I guess kind of about faith and there's kind of the different intuitions of how you feel about things, I guess, yeah. If lazily of me or whatever, maybe I'm not right, maybe I'm wrong, but when it comes to Dylan, it's like you kind of just have to, kind of think of your own, interpretation of his songs or whatever. The next one here's a beautiful one, Where Teardrop Falls. Really love the excellent piano done by Bob Dylan, of course. Daniel Lanois on lap steel. Paul Signal, never heard of him, guitar. We got John Hart on saxophone. David Rubin Jr. on washboard. And I really like this one. It says here that here Dylan strikes a soft chord of romanticism with an ambience invoking Wuthering Heights, a stormy night, a flickering light, and the sadness of a departure. Yeah. Really like this line here. As far away where the soft winds blow, far away from it all, there is a place you go where teardrops fall. I love that. We banged the drum slowly and played the fit flowly. You know the song in my heart and the turning of twilight and the shadows of moonlight. Wow, I really love those combination of words. You can show me a new place to start. Oh yeah. I just might have to come see you where teardrops fall. It's a really nice, lovely song. I do like it. Of course, all the production in it as well. Definitely sounds a little U2. I see that U2 in there. Oh yeah. Oh, then we get this one. Everything is Broken. I really love this song. It's a really, really great damn song. Oh my God, Dylan's harmonica is back here and it sounds better than ever here. I really love Daniel Lanois. He's here on dobro. Brian Slotes on guitar. Tony Hall bass. Willie Green drums. And Daryl Johnson on drums. We got two different people playing drums here. Yep, really, really great song. It really has a bit of an opening like a Green River. And see, the other song, Where Teardrops Fall, remind me a little bit of Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. So you definitely see Dylan was taking a little bit of that sound on those songs. But Everything's Broken really reminds of a Creedence song, like maybe like Green River or something. Or that song, Polk Salad Annie. Really great song by, what's his name? Tony Joe White. Oh yeah, I really love the repulsive beat in the song too. Dylan singing broken lines, broken string, broken threads, broken springs. He's saying here that anything, like everything is broken. I'm trying to see here. Trying to see where he would. So he's basically saying that everything in life just seems to be never what it seems to be. Like everything seems to be all just, I don't know the best way I can say, but maybe just things aren't what things should be, you know? It seems like every time you stop and turn around, something else just hit the ground. So it just almost just seems like Dylan here is saying like, what's the meaning here? Like it seems like all things are just, people are just corrupting things, like, you know, it's a corrupt world, I guess is what he's saying. The world we live in, he says here, every time you leave and go off someplace, things fall into my face. Hound dog howling, bullfrog croaking, everything is broken. Man, I love that song. Great song. Then we get Ring Them Bells. Really love this song. Definitely has a little bit of that gospel. Has a little bit of like the, Shot of Love or something. A little bit like Every Grain of Sand, a little bit. It has a little bit of that sound. This really has a lot of religious symbolism here. A lot of also brings up Sweet Martha and St. Peter, whatever. Let's see, we got Daniel Lanois on guitar, Malcolm Byrne on keys. Here's what it says here in the book, the other book that I got here. The Gospel according to Matthew 6:10. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is heaven. Inspired Ring Them Bells. It says that the bells to ring to announce the societal reign of God who spent his Son Jesus Christ to fulfill his divine will on earth and put the lost sheep back on the right track. So you get a lot of symbolism here, and a lot of referencing, like I said here, St. Peter. I believe it's something to do with him getting killed, I believe, or put to death or something like that because of how he feels on his faith. Well, anyways, here I'll read. Ring them bells, heathen from the city that dreams. Ring them bells from the sanctuaries, cross the valleys and streams, for they're deep and they're wide, and the world's on its side, and time is running backwards, and so is the bride. Says here, ring them bells, St. Peter, where the four winds blow, ring them bells with an iron hand, so the people will know, oh, it's rush hour now, oh, the wheel and the plow, and the sun is going down upon the sacred cow. Ring them bells, sweet Martha, for the poor man's son, ring them bells, so the world will know that God is one. Oh, the shepherd is asleep, where the willows weep and the mountains are filled with lost sheep. In this last line, ring them bells, St. Catherine, from the top of the room, ring them from the fortress for the lies that bloom. Oh, the lines are long and the fighting is strong, and they're breaking down the distance between right and wrong. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know a heck of a lot of that, of all the, the Bible and stuff, but I think he's referring to someone who's really, really so passionate about how, what their spirituality and their faith and stuff, and or being converted to some other religion and having to be, and so the other people think that, that, yeah, they got put to death, I believe. So, yeah, so I'm not really too big on it, but beautiful song though. Either way. Okay, then we get the next song, "Man in the Long Black Coat." We got Daniel Lanois, dobro again here, Malcolm Byrne. This is a really, really good song. I really love it. I love how it fades in, kind of a little bit like Political World. You got a lot of the bugs, and you kind of feel like you're in this woods, like this campfire, and Dylan's kind of got this like really. He almost seems to capture this in the pocket, kind of like he's got like this mysterious, vocals under his breath or whatever. I love, even the lines too. As crickets are chirping, the water is high. There's a soft cotton dress on the line hanging dry. And I love the way he vocalizes that. Window wide open, African trees bent over backwards from a hurricane breeze. Not a word of goodbye, not even a note. She gone with the man with the long black coat. I feel like this is pretty much, like Satan maybe perhaps being disguised, or it really reminds me a lot of, it may not be, kind of about, not so much of a, the disappearing hitchhiker, that's the kind of long forsaken tale there of the hitchhiker, the vanishing hitchhiker, whatever, dressed, and of course he's in a long black coat and all. Yeah, it just definitely has that, that Nolans, feels like you're in the, the edge of the bayou, and, Dylan's telling this creepy story of the man in the long black coat. She never said nothing. There was nothing she wrote. She went with the man in the long black coat. What a good song. Okay, and then I love this one. This one's really good too. It's Most of the Time. We got here Daniel Lanois, Malcolm Byrne, Tony Hall, Cyril Nivel. Yeah, I really love the drumming, how it kind of when he hits the snare and it has almost like this reverby, has like this whooshing, swooshing sound or whatever. And I love like Dylan's crackly vocals too. I feel like this time he was kind of like his vocals are starting to. I feel like they were starting to, I'm trying to think on the top of my head. His Dylan deteriorating a little bit, like he's starting to have a little bit of a crackle in his vocals here during this time. Most of the time, I'm clear focused all around. Most of the time, I keep both feet on the ground. Now, this song really reminds me of, a little bit of a twist on like his earlier song, from the '60s or whatever. Don't Think Twice is all right. It has a little bit of that sort of ordeal, I guess. Sort of same sort of thing. Stay right with it when the road unwinds. I can handle whatever I stumble upon. I don't even notice she's gone most of the time. Love it. Most of the time I'm halfway content. Most of the time I know exactly where it went. I don't cheat on myself. I don't run and hide from the feelings that are buried inside. I don't compromise. I don't pretend. I don't even care if I ever see her again most of the time. I see the humor in there, Yeah, it says here the narrator of the song, who could well be Dylan's alter ego, seems to come back to life after separating from his wife. Yep, Sarah, or whoever he was marrying at the time. Yep, and it even says the theme is similar to Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. But is the narrator telling the truth? Most of the time, may answer that question with a rousing not always. Good song. Okay, then we get What Good Am I? This is another really, really good one. I love this song. Got piano here done by Dylan, of course, dobro. Yeah, I love this. I love the line here as, maybe to pick apart some of the verses here. And going forward here after What Good Am I, we get a couple really good gospel ballads here. This is one of them. What good am I if I know and don't do, if I see and don't say, if I could look through you, if I turn a deaf ear to the thunder and sky, what good am I? What good am I then to others and me if I had every chance and yet still fail to see if my hands are tied? Most I wonder within, who tied them and why and where must I have been? And I just turn my back while you silently die. What good am I? And I really love the beginning too, where it has a little bit of it has a little bit of a reverb in the guitar. And this song definitely sounds like something Mayer would, he pull off something like that. It's a really, really, really excellent song. Okay, after that we get Disease of Conceit. I really do like this one. So once again, another nice, beautiful piano ballad here. Dylan on piano here. Mason Ruffiner on organ. It says, to whom are the lyrics of Disease of Conceit addressed? Who committed the sin of pride? The songwriter wrote in Chronicles that he was certainly influenced by the Pentecostal pastor Jimmy Sagard. I don't know who he is. On the contrary, he defends the pastor, quoting, so it's basically kind of, once again, picking apart on the Bible a bit here. Not that, I should have probably researched conceit. But here's some of the lines here. There's a whole lot of people suffering tonight from the disease of conceit. A whole lot of people struggling tonight. Straight down the line, rips into your senses, through your body and your mind. Nothing about it that's sweet, the disease of conceit. Conceit is a disease that the doctors got no cure. They've done a lot of research on it, but what it is, they're still not sure. Then they bury you from your head to your feet from the disease of conceit. God, this is just another really good anger. He has a little bit of this anger in him a little bit. Definitely good. And then after that is what was it that you wanted? Really nice song here with some really great harmonica too as well. I feel like Dylan was really coming back with that excellent harmonica that we seem to kind of lose a little bit on those, on those really bad 80s albums. But here's some of the lines as, what was it that you wanted? Tell me again so I'll know. What's happening there? What's going on in your show? I think a lot of people were a little bit worried on Dylan, and this was kind of his response to some of his fans, kind of. Could you say it again? I'll be back in a minute. You can get it together by then. What was it? What was it you wanted? You can tell me I'm back. We can start all over. Get it back on the track. You got my attention. Go ahead, speak. What was it? What was what you wanted? What was it you wanted when you were kissing my cheek? It's got a little bit of this, one-on-one kind of thing. Do you want it free? What was it what you wanted? Are you talking to me? It's got a little bit of that goofy, well, not goofy, but it has a little bit of that tongue-in-cheek. And the last song is Shooting Star. Now it says here that Dylan he performed Shooting Star on the MTV Unplugged. So we got here Daniel Lanois on omnichord. I don't know what that is. Brian Stoltz guitar, Tony Hall bass, Willie Green drums. Some really great stuff. Once again, a little bit, he's kind of a little bit, just by the title Shooting Star, maybe about Bethlehem kind of, on, the birth of Christ and all. It says, seen a shooting star tonight, and I thought of you. You were trying to break into another world, a world I never knew. I always kind of wondered if you've ever made it through, seen a shooting star tonight. I love that line. Also, listen to the engine, listen to the bell, as the last fire truck from hell goes rolling by. All good people are praying. It's the last temptation, the last account. The last time you might hear the Sermon on the Mount. The last radio is playing. Seen a shooting star tonight slip away. Tomorrow'll be another day. Guess it's too late to stay, to say the things to you that you needed to hear me say. Seen a shooting star tonight slip away. Great lines. Really love it. Okay, and that's what ends Oh Mercy. Now there were some outtakes here from this album, including Series of Dreams, which was actually from his, I think it was from the Volume 3 bootleg, and Dignity. And I believe Born in Time was, Born in Time was Under the Red Sky. Yeah, alrighty, so my next album that I'm going to be talking about is Under the Red Sky. Now, Dylan had Oh Mercy. He was rolling with that album. And so early 1990, he starts he hooks up with, what's his name, Don Was. And he starts doing that album, which again, people really want Dylan to keep his, people really want that sound of Dylan, but once again, he takes a turn for the worst again, and some people get a little bit pissed, some people get a little bit mad, about what he does with his music, but I really love Oh Mercy. Great album, and what can I say, Daniel Lanois, who'll be back for that Time Out of Mind. Really great stuff. Okay, folks, take care. Bye-bye.